You're with us here on A Way to Win, proudly brought to you by Betway, of course, the proud sponsors of the 2024 renewal of the Summer Cup venue Turpentine Racecourse. Dateline, the 30th of November 2024, with a grand prize money of 6 million rand, rendering it the richest race certainly on the African continent. I bid you a warm welcome as we look ahead to a standalone meeting coming through from the Western Cape. We're now back at Kenilworth after a stint at Durbanville. We're still on the winter course, but it is racing go ahead, full steam ahead as of 12 midday, the first of 10 races. So without further ado, let me say to our friend and colleague, Mr. Marie, who will be guiding us through or sharing his pearls of wisdom with the Western Cape Racing. Konnichiwa.
G'day, sis. How you doing?
Which is what it is.
Yeah.
Huh? You're an internationalist of sorts, huh?
I'll tell
How are
you
doing?
something. Very good, and you, thank you.
Okay.
Can tell you something. Either today's going to be a great day out at Kenilworth, or you're going to be crying after the first race because we're putting all our eggs in the basket, in one basket early.
Okay.
I was impressed with Cork Bay's debut. I expected him to win in his second start. I'm sure the connections did too, and hence them putting him away and gelded him straight thereafter. Very interesting of here. He was meant to contest that race that Ship and Darnie, his stable companion, won. And Cork Bay was meant to be ridden by Cornet Orff on that occasion. Anthony Andrews rode Ship and Darnie. So for Pierre Cornet Orff to want to ride Cork Bay, that just tells you that he is of the opinion that Cork Bay is better than Ship and Darnie. So I'm going to say Cork Bay will get the better of the two ahead of him or on top of him in the betting currently. Namely, what's that? Number 2, Give Me a Thrill.
Yeah.
And number
For the
14.
Top, yes, that is your top one in the
Elsinore.
betting.
Yeah. So Cork Bay has strong selection. However, I do have respect for the very well-related number 4, Charlie Bucket. You know, he's a brother to Undercover Agent.
Wow.
I had a look at that form line. Yes, the winner was impressive. The second horse didn't have the best of form. The fourth horse was the first time, and the fifth horse didn't have great form whatsoever. So if Cork Bay has improved for the gelding, I'd love to hear what Cornet Orff has to say, because he rode them both last time out. So Cork Bay, strong selection, respect for the 4, 5 from 4.
All right, well, the proof will be in the eating rather, because Ship and Darnie will be running a bit later on, and we'll be able to judge for ourselves. But Cork Bay, very confident is Mr. Marie, and we will take that on board. 12 o'clock is the start of that first, and you've got to get that bet on by that midday time. Right, race number 2. It is the second of 10, means we get into our first big exotic of the afternoon, and a bet that is being playing so well, more often than not in the Western Cape, has been the bipot, and I take it Saturday will be no exception whatsoever. That bipot starts in race 2 at 12:30, and of course to have any kind of a bet, you're a Betway account holder, you're a Betway subscriber, you need funds, and one of the easiest ways that has been innovated is that blue voucher. Go to your local convenience store, your garages, and then access the funds by putting in the code that is on that blue voucher. Enough from me. Let's get to the man who's got the tips that we can make a profit from. And I see there's been a nibble overnight for the 5 rich folks hoax. That is a 3 to 1. 33 to 10 is the 8, and that is the land of the rising sun. Thereafter it's 11 to 2 and a bet above those. Well, you did say when we started our preview, we're either going to be smiling or we're going to be crying in our beer. We'll be smiling after race 1. I'm pretty confident of that. Now the bipot. Will we be smiling at the end of the bipot?
We will be.
Okay.
Now, Land of the Rising Sun, I loved his second start over the same course and distance. He flashed up very late, and this horse is very green still. He hasn't learned how to race. So he has been put away, and they've gelded him. I think he's far better than what his recent form suggests, or at least his form to date suggests. Now, his biggest danger could be rich folks hoax. Now, he's got the fitness on his side. Lovely effort last time out. In that race, Cecil, the third horse was bounce back. Now, if you read into the bounce back form and Terminator form, there's not much separating the two in the market. numbers 5 and 8. Obviously, Rich Folks Hoax has had 2 runs since being gelded and appears to be cherry ripe going into this race. So on fitness, you have to be favouring him. But I do believe Land of the Rising Sun is better than what he's produced on course to date. So I'm going in order 8 from 5.
8 from 5, and that is the Land of the Rising Sun, and that is the first leg of the bipot. There it is in its full glory, the selection from Mr. Marie. It has to be on by that off time to race 2 of 12:30. Okay, so that blue voucher that we are talking about can apply in race number 3, or the funds that you access via your investment in a blue voucher to get involved in a PA. And of course, that place accumulator times is 1:05. Places to get those blue vouchers: go to your nearest convenience store, and all you need to do is to access your app and put in the code that is on that blue voucher. Right, let's get into race number 3. And in race 3, the 3 Snow Pilot, an impressive return to the races last time out, is at 17-20. Richard retains the ride. The 5 Bjorn Einside is at 33-10. Number 9, rather, that is William Ironarm. There's a name that is familiar. 5-1. It is 12-1 and a better bar. Those worth mentioning that William Ironarm is having a first runner for the Dean Canamere stable. Promised so much, and the last time I spoke to Tony, he says the horse shows so much, but just doesn't seem to have that fight when it comes to push comes to shove.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he was a rig, but I see he's been gelded now. So let's see how he goes. Mr. Kanamaya has commented in the front of the computer form. Let me just scroll up to that. I think he said we'll need further. Doing well, may just need further. Include in exotics. Yeah, I'm keen to see how he goes. Now, the current favourite, Snow Pilot.
17-20.
If you recall last time out, the stable made it clear that he was in desperate need of that start. But he wasn't ridden like that. He was taken to the head of the fairs. He made them gallop from the jump. Actually, he was ridden as if he was the fittest horse in the race. I think that would have been a great blowout for him, and he would have come on in leaps and bounds with that run under the belt. Obviously, I think they want to maintain winning ways going into the King's Plate. I would think that would be his target. But he was slung in on that occasion, if you recall. He was weighted to win. Have a look who he ran against on that occasion.
That was the One Stripe, yes.
And the weights. One Stripe gave him a kilogram on that occasion. One Stripe is a lovely improving 3-year-old. So is Bjorn Ironside. Now have a look at the weights over here. Yes, strictly at the weights and the ratings, Bjorn Ironside has got it all to do. But he's also a lovely improving 3-year-old. And he's getting as much as 8 kilograms from Snow Pilot. Whereas One Stripe was giving Snow Pilot 1 kilogram. So I think in receipt of 8 kilograms, Bjorn Ironside, despite being out at the weights, has to be respected over here. So I do believe they will fight it out. Numbers 3 and 5. Very interesting to see how this race pans out.
4 is 432 Rand, rather, is the outlay. Race number 3 is the first leg of that PA. Snow Pilot and Bjorn Ironside will make up that first leg of the place accumulator. 432 Rand, 1:05. All right, WP Nomads Class 3, Western Province Nomads Class 3 is over the distance, rather, of 1,400 meters once again. We're into the pick 6, and this promises to be a testing afternoon for the aficionados of the pick 6. But if you haven't got funds in your Betway account, and if you're not at a tote, then it's going to be a problem for you. Get that blue voucher, access it, get it into your account, and you're part of that pick 6. Now 22-2, and it's the 9 San Pedro, the 5-2 favorite. 28-10, the 2 Power and the Glory is 15-2, and Better Mr. Marie. Those are the top 3 in the betting.
Let's quote Mr. Snaith in the front of the computer form. Number 2, Power and the Glory. Nice type, may need it. 1 to follow. So he's certainly not readied up for his return. He may have the class. What's very interesting is the weight that Richard Free's getting down to ride over here. I think since winning the championship, we haven't seen Richard ride at this weight. Am I correct?
I haven't actually, to be quite frank, had really too
Yeah.
much a chance to follow Cape Racing with clash with our own racing. But no, he seems to be in business. If you're saying he's coming down to 53.5.
Yeah, so we know that the form line has been franked. I mean, the run-up on that occasion bolted in next time out by 6 odd lengths. Lovely sort in the making. Richard getting down, cutting weight. Let's see how he goes. But the stables say he might be in need of this.
Well, just going with your body, your wording there. In the preceding race, the Snow Dance was badly needed the run and came through and won.
Yeah,
This
so is
one
this
may need it, so I think you can actually
Get away with it.
get
Yeah.
away with it.
Yeah. Now, Willie John, if you recall his last start, I mean, he took out the railing. Penultimate start, Gareth Wright put him to bed at the back of this field and he stayed on beautifully. This horse is better than his current rating. So I've included him. And then the obvious selection, and I think Mr. Marshall's stable has now turned, is San Pedro. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's always up front. And
Was that Mr. Marshall or San Pedro?
yeah, San Pedro. And he's having his peak run and he's back in a handicap. You know, he wasn't well treated last time out when Rambian Roskova and Sergey was in that race. So I think Gavin at the head of the affairs, if he times this right, he'll certainly be super fit to hold on. So lovely race. I've gone all of numbers 2, 4, and 9.
2, 4, and a 9. That's just the opener. The Pick 6 starts at 20 minutes to 2 with this Class 3 over 1400. All right, so we've urged you to get involved in your bipots, your PAs, and your pick sixes. We now get into the jackpot segment. Remember, it is a 10-race program, so jackpot 1 starts race 5, and jackpot 2 starts in race number 7. Jackpot 1 starts with a KB stakes, and that'll be over the 1,800 meters, and favoritism currently 24 hours before we get into racing in the Western Cape is the one Join the Dots. That is Brett Crawford and Kabira Matsinyane. On that note, we still are thinking of Louis Mkoto after last Friday's mishap. We wish him a speedy recovery to the saddle. Kabira, able deputy, 2-1 on the favour. The 1 Join the Dots. The 3 Song to the Moon at 22-10, and then the 6 Give Me More Time is at 4-1. Well, certainly not going to give you any more time, Mr. Marie. You've had overnight to work out your jackpots, so we will need the numbers from you.
Yes. Now, obviously, Cabello's riding for Brett Crawford throughout the day, and he's on Join the Dots. But I'd love to get Richard Free's opinion of here, because not only did he ride Join the Dots last time out, he also rode Song to the Moon to victory. So he must have an opinion on who he would have preferred to ride. I don't think he had the choice. Now, Join the Dots. The pennies dropped for this horse. He's in cracking form. Last time out, if you watch that race, Richard actually had to ease right back towards the back of the field. Otherwise, he would have been caught out wide. So, things didn't really pan out great for him. But yet, when he switched him to the outside of the track, he flashed up late. He's in great form. Cabello from a neat draw, 54 to shoulder. I think he'll be a little bit closer to the pace than what he has been in his last 2 starts. So I like his chances. Now, Song to the Moon. If you recall that race, Hoodia had him on the ropes, turning for home. And for him to have knuckled down the way he did and get up in the latter stages was extremely gutsy on his behalf. And I think the step up to the 1800 is going to be in his favor. He's another one who's improving, and he has to go in. And then Magic Verse interests me over here. You know, since being gelded, this is actually the first time he's been stepped up in trip. Go back in his career, a year ago, he was contesting races over a mile and finishing those races off smartly. So the fact that he's now back over 1800 could be what he's looking for. So I think these three are the three we can focus on. 1, 3, and 4, a lovely race.
All right, talking about 3, it will be a 396 Rand outlay to that jackpot. Starting race number 5, 14, 15, 1, 3, and 4. Join the dots. Song to the Moon and Magic verse JP van der Merwe. He's going to have a very busy 24 hours. Tonight, we're recording on a Friday. He is, of course, at Turpentine, and then he has got a full book, or nearly a full book, at Kenilworth on Saturday. All right, so now we are awaiting the start of Jackpot 2 after the start of Jackpot 1, which was race 5. Race 7 will be our next port of call in terms of the jackpot. We do, however, step up in distance in race number 6. 1950 is a trip to this Cape Sea Stakes, and that'll be off at 10 minutes to 3. I do believe that our Mr. Marie has got us a pick 3 to chew on. Now, Groove Jet, the 5 in the colors of Mr. Boss. He's going to have a rather good day because every race he has got a fancied runner of sorts in his silks. 22 to 10. The one Aladdin's Lamp is at 15 to 4. 9 to 2 is the 8, and thereafter it is 7 to 1 and better bar those quoted runners. Continental Express being the 8. Which way are we going? Gavin Arena's in town for race number 6. He's on one of the each way selections, I guess, Greenland.
Yes, now Greenland and Groove Jet have actually met in the past. Greenland won on that occasion, but Groove Jet was so big and immature back then. I think he's filled out his frame and he's only getting better with running, with racing. Last time out, you can see he holds quite a few. In saying that, Aladdin's Lamp number 1 was returning from a lengthy layoff, and he broke well, but he was being scrubbed at the top of the straight, and the fact that he stayed on and finished where he did was a commendable effort. Now, Aladdin's Lamp, looking into his form line, since being stepped up in trip and barring the one run in yielding conditions, has been ultra consistent. So I'm not discounting his chances. I think he'll be thereabouts. The horse that I've included is number 2, Commander Green. Now, on paper, he's got it all to do because not only is he held and he's worse off at the weights, but I'm of the opinion that this son will give me the green light. It's not yet the finished article, and I like what I see in him as a specimen. I think he's only going to get better with racing. This time round, he's got a neat draw in his favor, and he could well race closer to the pace than what he did in his last start. Like I said, Groove Jet, he's now found his feet and he's in cracking form. He should have the ability to confirm the form with those, but I don't think it's cut and dry. I mean, a little bit of luck in running could certainly turn the result in others' favor. So yeah, 5, 2, and 1 in that order if I was pushed into a corner, but respect for all 3.
All right, 5, 2, and 1. That is the start of the pick 3 courtesy of Daryl Marie, and that starts at 10 minutes to 3 with the running off for race number 6. All right, so for the big one, it is race number 7. Take note of the off time to the renewal of the Cape Mile. It's off at 15:25, a grade 3 event, and it is a 10-runner field filled with lots of potential as well as well-proven sorts. Now, as far as the potential is concerned, let's go to the top of the boards, and one of those that can be put into that category to a smallest degree over this sort of trip, most certainly, and that is the Canamere trained Gimme a Prince, who's at 16 to 10. Number 2, Rascallion, certainly much exposed and very talented, very consistent, has really enjoyed its racing. 5 to 1, along with the 9, Royal Aussie, also at 5 to 1, 6 to 1, and a better bar those. So those 3 horses at the top of the boards certainly have a story to tell. The last named, number 9, Royal Aussie, I think won one of the last features of the season gone by in the Western Cape for Mrs. Viljoen, and she had a great day then. She was also a partner in Grand Slam, is it? What is it? Grand Slam, lady? Double Grand Slam with Gary Player. Right, let's talk about the favorite first of all. First time over this sort of trip, that is 1,600 meters. Craig Zaki, given a chance, I think that could be the way to go from that wide draw. That's a personal, humble opinion.
Who had the widest of draws a week ago and was dropped out to last?
Yeah, that was, I'll tell you what, something in the same silks.
Yes.
Gimmy's Countess.
And I can foresee the same thing happening over here. Gimme a Prince is going to be dropped out from a wide draw. Yes, can he get there in time? Absolutely.
I think so.
But have a look at the weights of here, Cecil, and the ratings. I mean, it's a one-horse race. If you strictly go at the best weighted column, he's as much as 10 pounds or 5 kilograms best in of year. But he never earned his rating over a mile. And there's no guarantee that he's going to see out the mile. Yes, Mr. Kahneman is of the opinion that he's going to love the step up in trip and he will certainly see out the mile. He's been aimed at the King's Plate. But I don't think you can read into those ratings because he never earned that rating over a mile. Strictly on paper, you have to take Montien's chances seriously over here. I know he's out at the weights, but the fact of the matter is he beat Gimme a Prince last time out, returning from a layoff, and they meet at the exact same weight terms. So why are we writing off Montien's chances?
I guess because Give Me a Prince was doing best work late, and Montien seemed to really be just about holding on for that second position behind questioning, looking at the bare four.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not discounting his chances. Another horse that I have included in my play over here is Zapatilis, who also contested the match from last time out. I don't think he was given the most vigorous of rides. I think this is a great race for his taking. You know, he's always been a high-class individual. I know he's come with his issues. But I think from a neat draw with Cabello in the irons, he'll be put in a prominent position, hopefully just behind Montien. And he will fight out the finish. And then don't discount Sugar Mountain if you are playing wider. Yes, I like Gimme a Prince's chances, but this is still part of his prep for the King's Plate.
All right, so it would be 10-6, just reading between the lines, 3 and 7. Those would be your principles.
Yes.
Sorry, I do listen. That is the first leg of the jackpot, and the outlay is 264 Rand. It is a renewal of the Cape Mile, off at 1525, race number 7. Right, we're on to the last chance to get involved in a pick 3 at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth, and that is with the running of race number 8. It is taking the reins, class 5 for fillies and mares over the 1200 meters, well as fate would have it. Race number 1, we discussed a horse that must have some sort of a chance, and it will be of great interest in race number 8, and that is the 7. Ship and Darnay racing in the colours of Platinum Racing, Andre Null and a Corne off a team up. Not the favourite though, it is Lady Loxton, the 4, your favourite at 3-1. The 5 for Veronique is at 33-10. The 1 Raw Lytham is at 15-4, and bracketed at 15-4 is the 7 Ship and Darnay. Tell us what you did here in that second leg of the jackpot once again.
If you saw my perm test, I went the entire field over here, so I am looking for the upsets. You know, you can make a case for a lot of these fillies and mares. It's a nightmare of a race. What I do want to say is number 10, Beneath the Moon. For her to run an honest race, she has to be up on pace. And that hasn't been the case at Durbanville in her last 2 starts. I think she's best when she gets to the front and she just keeps on rolling. She doesn't really possess that turn of foot. So if she can break well and be doing it comfortably up front, I think she can improve on what she's shown to date. I've recommended a place bet. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets it right. I'd like to see her up front and then I'd be more confident. But if she comes out slowly like she has been doing, or if she's off the pace, I think we've got our work cut out. So a hard race, Beneath the Moon, possibly to run into the money.
Beneath the Moon, that is Santa Claus number 10 to be partnered by Keenan Stain, and that is currently trading at 16-1, so a good place bet, or if you're more adventurous, a good each way value. All right, we're into class 4 for our penultimate event of the afternoon, and the last chance to get involved in a double. 1200 meters is a trip, and in a race, number 9, the well-related, and so far well-performed, number 3, I'm So Pretty, is at 5-2 co-favorite with the 9, All the Boys I've Loved. 7-2 is the 5, Barbalicious, it's 7-1, and better bar those quoted runners. Right, I'm So Pretty. What is the sibling in Durban? Pretty Victory, is it?
Okay.
Is it Pretty Victory? Also trained by Gareth Van Sale. Scratching one day
Yes.
with due to TCO2, and in the end, no filter came through and won.
Yeah.
And
you know, that filly came to the track with a reputation from day one.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty victory. Is it Mr. Moose's filly?
It is, yeah, no, it's purplish colors, but I know it is Gareth Sale.
Ibrahim Musa, I think.
Yes, yes,
Ibrahim.
indeed. Orange and blue.
Yeah.
Maroon and blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Cecil, you know, this filly, her 2 victories have been at Durbanville, but she's been up the Kenilworth Straights in the past. She's obviously found good form, and she's going in the right direction. So I like her chances. Number 3, I'm So Pretty. Then you've also got a filly that's only ever been at Durbanville, and that's number 9, All the Boys I've Loved. Proved very costly last time out, and strictly on paper, you have to say that Mr. Marshall's filly should confirm the form because she beat her and she's better off at the weight. But, you know, All the Boys I've Loved was only having her second start, and she was very inexperienced. Well, she is still inexperienced, and I'm going to say that she's going to reverse the form despite the turnaround in the weights. So I think she will fight it out. But the one I'm leaning towards is Babylicious, number 5. I was very impressed in her penultimate start, up the Kenilworth Straight behind Worldcraft, was it? Then last time out wasn't a bad effort. Candace's horses weren't exactly firing when the going was bottomless. So I'm keen to see how she goes. I think this is a 3-cornered contest. If we double our money with the exact over here, I'll be over the moon because I do believe they'll fight it out. If you want to play it tighter, I'd go Banker 5 by 3 and 9.
There we go. Babylicious. That's the first choice in those famous books of Team Valor International partnership with the Sings, that is Vanishri and Anat Singh. Box exact recommendation 359 if you are aggressive, 5 by 3 and 9.